Right now to big new developments in the trial of 4 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Testimony resumed today following Monday's COVID delay. And for the first time, we got to hear from an undercover FBI informant. Defender Sean Lake live with the testimony, but perhaps more interesting, the secret recordings revealed in court. Sean.
These undercover FBI informants, Kimberly, providing the prosecution, the government, with hundreds of hours of these recordings of the defendants, the prosecution going right back to those recordings in court today. At times, it was jaw-dropping. Recordings played in court today capturing defendant Adam Fox talking about his ideas about what kidnapping Governor Gretchen Whitmer would mean to other people in power. Quote, "We're sending a blank message to them. Hey, if we can get her, we can get you." When talk turned to planning the kidnapping, Fox is caught on tape saying, quote, "We just want the bee. We want her flex cuffed on a table while we all pose. Pose for a photo with the governor of Michigan, caught, cuffed, and placed on a table." Defendant Barry Croft and Daniel Harris from Waterford, the informant says, were attempting to build explosives. Croft bringing along his 10-year-old daughter. On one occasion, she is heard on the tape saying, "Daddy," Croft says, "What, honey? Do you want a Dorito?" Croft says, "Honey, I'm making explosives. Can you get away from me, please?" Fox is also heard talking about kidnapping the governor and leaving her alone on a boat in the middle of Lake Michigan. Quote, "Take her blank out to blank Lake Michigan, drop her blank motor, and leave the blank stranded." Late today, with that FBI informant still on the witness stand, defense attorneys for the defendants got to question that FBI attorney where they talked about an exchange where marijuana was provided or smoked at most of these occasions, leading toward the defense the defense here that they are impaired or provided the marijuana or, again, entrapped or saying things were just all talk. Again, much more to come tomorrow. Back to you.
A lot of new information today, too. Okay, Sean, thank you.
One man in custody after leading officers on a chase through 2 cities. Sky 4 over the scene where the chase came to an end this afternoon on I-696. This is in Warren. Circumstances leading to the arrest are still a little unclear, but we do know it started on Detroit's east side. We're told police were looking for a person wanted for assault with intent to murder. Officers surrounded the suspect's gray sedan here on the freeway when he surrendered. So far, no word on any charges.
State Representative Jewel Jones will not face more jail time for his drunk driving arrest and scuffle with state police. A Livingston County judge sentenced the Inkster Democrat to 2 years probation. Earlier this month, Jones pleaded guilty to charges stemming from a drunk driving arrest in Livingston County. He will get credit for 61 days served and must serve 100 hours of community service.
Well, if you got out of the heist today, you probably feel a little lucky on this St. Patty's Day.
Short sleeves are an option outside, but changes are coming.
Yeah, I'll tell you what a great evening to sit in the back porch and have a Guinness Stout or a Bailey's Irish Cream and just kind of sit back and enjoy these 70-degree temperatures. It is beautiful out there. Look at this, 70 in Monroe, 68 in Lapeer, 69 in Ann Arbor, 70 degrees right now in Detroit. Wind is generally light, blowing from the westerly direction, so most of us not getting an impact from those cold lakes. But Grosse Ile all day today has been in the upper 40s and low 50s, at least the southern end of the island there. All right, Storm Tracker 4 is high and dry. No rain, even with the cold front coming through. No rain with this cold front, but we're going to get a lot of rain actually coming tomorrow night. But through the evening, though, there'll be a quick drop in temperature behind the cold front. It's going to be dry, but just be aware that it's mild right now. But if you're going to be out late tonight, it's going to be quite chilly when you come out of the, well, the party, the bar, whatever. But in any event, temperatures are going to really take a dive as we get into the post-weekend period. All right, don't forget the local forecasters app. You're going to want to have it tomorrow night. You might be woken up by some thunder and lightning, and it's easy to just grab your phone, take a look, and see what's going on our real-time radar. Just go to the App Store, search under WDIV, and it's free, guys.
A U.S. citizen has been killed in Ukraine as Russia continues to target civilians. Ukraine's interior minister identified him as a man from Minnesota. They say he was killed when Russian troops opened fire on civilians. Crews are trying to rescue people trapped in the rubble of a theater that was hit by a Russian airstrike in the city of Mariupol. Hundreds of people had taken shelter inside. Right now, it's unclear if anyone was killed in that airstrike, but we do know there are some survivors. The U.S. says it is documenting potential war crimes committed by Russia. Coming up on NBC Nightly News, families separated as they flee Ukraine. Hear how they're keeping their faith and how that faith is being tested. That story ahead, again, immediately following this broadcast at 6:30 on Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Oakland County Sheriff's deputies believe they have some new evidence to last month's massive fire at Oakland Hills Country Club that shows it may have been started accidentally. Newly recovered surveillance video shows maintenance workers here using a propane blowtorch on the patio. Investigators say the torches were used to speed up the drying of rubber flashing that prevents water from getting into the clubhouse. Well, at some point, the crew noticed it had sparked a fire inside the wall there. They tried to put it out with a hose, but later you'll see firefighters show up here. They take to the wall with an axe, and then you saw the fire and the smoke coming out. An official cause to what happened there, though, still could take a year.
A local family turning grief into pain and pain, I should say, into action. Their loved one recently died after a 5-day battle with injuries from a car accident. And as Paula Tutman reports, they're now warning others about giving in to distractions while behind the wheel of a car.
On a beautiful spring day, a Clinton Township man, Jeff Corby, is aware of one thing and one thing only. His sister will not enjoy it and never will again.
He was driving northbound on Van Dyke. The other occupant of the vehicle was traveling westbound on Stevens, approximately 80 miles per hour, collided with her vehicle.
25-year-old Kia Landers was involved in a violent crash in Warren March 5th. She lost her battle with her injuries March 10th. March 17th, her family is trying to figure out how to bury her, how to let her 2-year-old daughter know her mother is never coming home again, and how to make sense of the loss.
It really does break my heart on the fact that, asking people for money just to bury my sister, it doesn't, this isn't something that I wanted to do. It's not something that I, felt that I should have had to do at this point in my life.
Their message to the world is a valuable life was lost in a split second, and other valuable lives are lost in split seconds. And they want people to take more than a moment to consider every second they're behind the wheel of a vehicle.
I want people to understand that when things happen, that cause death, that it's something that they need to hear about, that it's not something that they can just brush under a rug.
This family wants to remind everyone that getting distracted costs lives.
She could just brighten a room. She could walk in a room, tell any story, or talk to anybody, and just make your day better. It wasn't even about who she was as a person. You could have a bad day and she could talk to you and you would have a better day from that moment on.
A life was lost, so obviously there's an ongoing police investigation, but that's not what her family is concerned with right now. They're dealing with their own grief and loss, and they don't want their loved one to slip into oblivion as just another victim of a car accident. What they really want people to do is remember the name Kia Landers before they make a decision to drive distracted. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula.